I think reality is slapping a lot of folks in the face. The reality in Germany, which is to say rolling brownouts and blackouts in the face of 500% higher electricity costs. I don't think this has to happen too many times before the elected politicians get spat on and slapped enough that they become pro-nuclear. Remember, it isn't about the people, it's about the election cycle. Similarly, in the United States, the idea that the Department of Energy would, 2 short years after Biden threatened to shut down the nuclear industry, decide instead to subsidize it. I mean, this is a pretty amazing turnaround in public opinion. In Japan, 4 or 5 years ago, a popular opinion poll, a widespread popular opinion poll, showed the citizenry to be 62% opposed to nuclear power. The same poll commissioned this year showed the citizenry to be 61% in favor of nuclear power. What we're seeing is the triumph of reality over narrative. Certainly, you are seeing voices in the environmental community, including the co-founder of Greenpeace, but other people who weren't necessarily a fan of either uranium or fossil fuels, like Bill Gates, suggest that the only way out of our conundrum, which is to say people's desire for material well-being in their lifetimes, the only answer involves a substantial increase in baseload power generation from nuclear. Remember that alternative energies are intermittent, which is to say you have a problem with solar in places where the sun doesn't shine, or at night when the sun doesn't shine. And the cost of augmenting, currently at least, that alternative energy with battery storage is too high. The other constraint with batteries, and believe me, I'm in the mining business, I know this, is that the amount of mining that we're going to have to do to supply the critical elements for energy transmission, and in particular, battery storage, will blow people's minds. They will particularly blow the minds of the environmental community. The damage that we will have to do as an industry to provide the lithium, the copper, the cobalt, the vanadium, the manganese, to fuel this battery revolution, which makes alternative energies viable, will be highly problematic. It's also worthy to note that in the energy mix, in addition to nuclear, to support alternative energy, what we're going to have the ability to do is to provide peaking energy, which is to say a very reliable source of energy when the wind doesn't blow or the sun doesn't shine. And that's going to be natural gas, whether the big thinkers like it or not. All the things that I would suggest other people do, I've done already. If you think the price of uranium is going to go up, buy some uranium. I don't mean physically in a barrel and put it in your basement, but you can buy the Sprott Physical Uranium Trust. Disclosure of conflict, I'm the largest shareholder of Sprott. I benefit if you buy from management fees. You could buy shares in the big uranium producers. The easiest one to wrap your head around would probably be Cameco. The best, although not easy to wrap your head around, is the Kazakh producer Kazatomprom. If you do a lot of work, which I have done, there are probably 12 or 13 companies worldwide that would be viable at $60 or $65 a pound. You could either do the research yourself, or you could hold your nose and buy one of the uranium ETFs. I say hold your nose because the ETFs don't confine themselves to the 12 or 13 viable uranium companies. They're market cap weighted, and you probably get 30 or 35 companies.